Scientific American, May 2003, parallel universes is not just a staple of science fiction. Other universes are a direct implication of cosmological observations. My Max Tegmark. That's pure fiction, absolutely untrue. The supposed physics is also untestable. So some people claim that this must happen because the physics will make it happen. Well, the physics they're talking about is not tested, has not been tested, and is in most cases not ever going to be testable physics. So not only can you not observe it, but the physics isn't testable either. In fact, the main reason it's pursued, in my view, is because it's a good explanation of fine-tuning. That is, it's pursued for philosophical reasons, and many people like Steven Weinberg, Martin Rees are quite explicit in this. They are pursuing it because it provides them with an explanation of fine-tuning, and therefore it is the only scientific explanation they can see of why the universe is friendly for life, allows life to exist. Okay, now there's a variety of multiverse proposed, and Brian Greene in his book The Hidden Reality in different chapters advocates 9 different types of multiverse: the invisible parts of our universe, chaotic inflation, brain worlds, cyclic universes, the landscape of string theory, branches of the quantum mechanics wave function, holographic projections, computer simulations. All that can exist must exist, the grandest of all multiverses. Now, the first point is they can't all be true because they conflict with each other. So if you're going to be a multiverse advocate, you've got to choose which of those are true, but there's a 10th possibility, maybe none of them, maybe there's just one universe. Okay. Now, the most popular one, or in many cases, is this one. It's claimed the multiverse is implied by known physics that leads to chaotic inflation. However, that's not actually the case. The key physics, Coleman-DeLucia tunneling in many multiverse models, the string theory landscape, and the link between them, is extrapolated from known and tested physics to new contexts. The extrapolation is unverified and indeed is unverifiable. It may or may not be true. The physics is hypothetical rather than tested. So if you could tell me there's known and tested physics which leads to the multiverse, I have to say, okay, we can't see the multiverse, but we know the physics, we know it's correct, therefore the multiverse exists. I'd have to accept that. So known physics lead to the multiverse? No. Known physics leads to hypothetical physics by extrapolation leads to the multiverse. There's a major extrapolation, and what we're testing is this. That's where that's tested. This is not tested, so the multiverse is not tested. This chain of argumentation does not work. It's a great extrapolation on known physics. The extrapolation is untestable. It may be correct, it may be incorrect, but we don't know. So in fact, this is the way I like to think of it. This is well-established theory supported by data. And what's happening in quantum gravity? Some people take one feature of known physics and extrapolate it out there to this quantum gravity theory out there. Some people take a different aspect of known physics and extrapolate it out there. This is loop quantum gravity, and that is string theory. String theory predicts that in all these different domains there might be different values of the fundamental constant. Loop quantum gravity does not make that prediction. So which extrapolation do you believe? It depends whether you come from the quantum field theory sides when you extrapolate that way, or the general relativity side when you extrapolate that way. Is the key physics linking a bubble universe to anthropics tested? This is an article by Tom Banks. The top 10 to the 500 reasons not to believe in the string landscape. And this is the abstract. The string landscape is a fantasy. We actually have a plausible landscape of minimally supersymmetric anti-de Sitter 4. Solutions of supergravity modified by an exponential superpotential. None of these solutions is accessible to wordsheet perturbation theory. If they exist as models of quantum gravity, they are defined by conformal field theories, and each is an independent quantum system which makes no transitions to any of the others. This landscape has nothing to do with Coleman-DeLucia tunneling or eternal inflation. And this is a claim from the string side that this kind of extrapolation doesn't work. Now, you may or may not believe that, but whether you believe that or not, what this paper establishes is that the supposed underlying physics is certainly not well established and agreed. Okay, so the idea that known physics lead to the multiverse is a hyperbole. It's not actually the way it is. Is it implied by inflation, which is justified by the cosmic background and isotropy experiments? Now, The multiverse is implied by some form of inflations, but not others. Inflation is not yet a well-defined theory. In fact, inflation is a family of about 200 different possible theories, you can rule some of them out by observations, not other ones, but inflation is not actually a theory. It's a framework for a vast family of theories. And not all of these theories lead to chaotic inflation.